The top killer just went abroad to do some personal business. But when he returned home to find that something had gone wrong just because the footprints on the ground and a large number of cigarette butts that someone was squatting in front of his house. And this style of unprofessional counterparts, thinking of his wife as still at home, Paul hastily pulled out a pistol from the car and then quickly over the fence toward the home of the villa to run. Unsurprisingly, when Paul came to the hall, there are not only a large number of bloodstains on the floor and there are traces of the fight in the bathroom. Seeing this horrible scene, Paul could not imagine whether his wife had been killed. So in order to find out who did it, he rushed to call his brother-in-law, only to learn that his wife had been seriously injured in the hospital. It was only when he heard from his brother-in-law that the two killers had left in a green cab that Paul said he would take care of everything. Then he went straight home and dug out the weapons hidden in the ground. Then packed his suitcase with clothes and the essentials of a professional assassin. Paul began to frantically search for the whereabouts of the green cab, but when he found it he did not get out of the car but followed them back to the company's headquarters in silence. Seeing that there was only one person inside the house, Paul knocked on the iron door and then pretended to be a beggar to ask for some food. In his pathetic pleading inside, the person finally softened and agreed to go down but did not know that Paul the next second to put on a good hood and even took out a pistol from his waistband. Not long after going in, Paul found out the cab to his home and found out the driver of the car. To get this information he hurriedly messed up the data room disguised as a burglary look and then left with peace of mind. Until the next morning, Paul quickly found the other side. He immediately went forward and pretended to be a passenger to take Curly's cab and then assembled a silenced pistol in the car and told Curly to look back and see the scene. Curly Hair had quickly running in to see Paul. This kind of posture, Curly Hair immediately took out his wallet to give him, but Paul did not take the wallet but to mention 2 days ago to his home neighborhood guests. But the good thing is that Curly also remembers that there is a thing he said the woman like a toothpick man full of tendons and then went into the villa in a short while and then went to the airport. Although Paul didn't know who the two men were, the boss was the only one who knew his home address. So in order to find out if the boss had done it, Paul bought a large number of nail guns, as well as garbage cans and paint, and then disguised himself as a janitor in front of the company to wait for the time to clean up the garbage. And then a mailman opened the door and left. Soon after, a mailman opened the door and walked in. Paul hurriedly dragged the trash can behind him and told him to wait for himself, and then took the elevator to the 5th floor with the mailman because Paul's boss happened to be on the same floor. But the strange thing is that Paul did not follow but waited until the other side to go into the boss's office before he quietly came to the front door. After seeing the boss's secretary inside the room, Paul first pretended to bend down to drink water, actually waiting for the mailman to come out. Of the mailman, he hurriedly blocked the door with his feet and then took out a silenced pistol and tools to go inside. Paul pointed the gun at the boss and then gave the secretary the tie and told her to tie up the boss. And then he tied himself in the bathroom. But Paul left a gap to observe the movements of the secretary, and then directly to the boss without saying a word on the torture device.